Welcome to brideaccess.com. I'm Sarah Parker with Utah Central Credit Union.
And I'm Alex Boyer with brideaccess.com, coming to you from the beautiful woods on 9th.
Welcome to the new series of episodes to help you plan the most wonderful wedding. On today's show, we have ideas and tips from the best wedding professionals to help you with your wedding. We also will have tips on invitations, photography, videography. We will feature a wedding from Southern Utah, and we will also discuss a unique floral idea. Also, we'll bring you a financial tip to help you get your marriage on the right track when it comes to money.
So sit back, relax, and let us plan your wedding. This is brideaccess.com. Bam!
Hi, I'm Michael Nelson with RememberWhenFilms.com. My expert tip today is on Lost Traditions Part 2, the mother-son dance and the daddy-daughter dance. The mother-son dance can be a really neat experience for the groom's mom and her son. You know, the groom is really lucky to be much more than a prop on the wedding day. He's so badly upstaged by that beautiful girl in the white dress. But to his mother, your future mother-in-law, the groom is the star. So giving them a few moments to be out alone on stage and let her have a moment alone with him can be a really neat and emotional experience for which she will thank you for many years to come. Another lost tradition is the daddy-daughter dance. It can be a really neat and beautiful experience for the father and his daughter to be out again on the dance floor for a few moments. It lets them be alone. It's often the only opportunity they have to talk the whole wedding day. Now traditionally it was called the last dance, and the father of the bride would dance with his daughter, the bride, and turn her over to the groom for the first dance. It kind of symbolized the changing of the guard. Some people love tradition and like that old style, others like the modern daddy-daughter dance. So if you do the last dance first, then the first dance, then the mother-son dance. That's the traditional way. Or the modern way is the first dance, daddy-daughter, and then mother-son. Either way, it turns out great. You know, the mother of the bride has a really neat experience usually shopping with the bride up before the wedding and gets to spend a lot of time with her. The father of the bride is often left out, and maybe he even has a bad experience because he gets to argue over budget and write checks before. So giving him a moment to be alone with the bride and have a really neat part of the wedding experience can really be a neat bonding experience for the bride and her father. Another really fun version has just been to honor grandpa and have a moment where the bride will dance with her grandpa. If she has a really close relationship with her grandpa, that can be a really neat experience. And the same way, the groom will then dance with his grandmother. These dances can be a really neat experience for you. It's nice if you have a band or a DJ, but if you're not going to have any other kind of dancing, don't let that stop you from doing these dances. You can use an iPod or a boombox or the sound system of the facility. Just take a moment to do those neat dances and you'll be very, very happy and it'll be a great experience.
Mike, thank you so much for these great tips. We will have weekly tips from Mike with RememberWhenFilms.com to help make your wedding day absolutely wonderful and to avoid any wedding day pitfalls.
Please, taste. Salt Lake's premier wedding show is a culinary event. Sample your way to the perfect menu. It's free. January 22nd at the Joseph Smith Memorial Building and the Lion House. Register at weddings@templesquare.com.
Welcome, brides. I'm Amy Hawk with the Flower Patch, and today we're so excited to talk about picking a color and some beautiful flowers that you can use. The colors that you choose for your wedding will set the style and mood for the whole event. Choose colors that you love, but there are some things you should consider when choosing your colors. Consider your venue. What kind of colors are going to complement your venue? Maybe you need to look at the carpet in your venue or the colors that are on the wall. The other thing to consider is the mood that you want to portray. Vibrant colors give more drama. Soft colors bring out the romance of your wedding day. The other thing to consider is the time of the year. You may want to use seasonal colors, like in summer or in spring when you'd use lighter colors, or fall or winter when you use the darker tones. The color wheel can help you choose these colors. There's some combinations that you can use off of the color wheel that will help you pick colors. There's complementary. These colors are opposite each other on the color wheel, like orange and blue. Then there's analogous. They are next to each other on the color wheel, like your blue and your violet or your purple. The other one is monochromatic. Monochromatic are variations of the same tone. So you might use dark purple, a lighter purple, or a violet. Now, each flower has its own season. And here at the Flower Patch, we have a booklet to help you with some of the popular wedding flowers and their season. Inside the booklet is a list of the most popular wedding flowers, their season, and the colors that they come in. And here in this vase, we have just a few. Some of the really popular and fun ones are the calla lily. It comes in a large and also in a mini. The mini comes in some different colors. Comes in this color, which is great for the fall, and it's called Flame. There's yellow, there's a deep, deep purple, which is super popular right now. Other flowers that are fun, the Gerber daisy. Monkey tail gives you that playful, whimsical look in your bouquet. Or a sunflower. What a beautiful, vibrant yellow this will bring to your wedding. Good use of color and good use of flowers in season will make your wedding day a success. Brides, when you come to the Flower Patch, we're able to help you with the color wheel, and we have a packet for each of you with popular flowers in season and a whole sheet on picking your color scheme. I'm Amy with the Flower Patch, and you're watching brideaccess.com.
Hi, this is Anne with Ann Elizabeth Custom Design and Printing. Helpful hint for brides and grooms out there. Did you know that you should be ordering your invitations 3 months in advance of your event? You should also be mailing your invitations 4 to 6 weeks in advance of your event. For more hints and tips on planning your wedding, visit us at brideaccess.com, and where you'll find me, Ann Elizabeth.
Want to improve your relationship? Think about a small habit your spouse has that irritates you. Got it? Okay. Now forget about it. For more tips, expert advice, and resources in your area that can help you learn how to work things out together, visit strongermarriage.org.
We're here at a unique wedding at Wadley Farms for this week's episode of Creating Connections. Julene the bride is a fashion designer and wanted a unique wedding, from a button bouquet to a zipper cake to a runway show, and even make her own wedding gown. Which leads us to this week's question from Ella Bella Floral. With the recent flood of new vendors in the wedding industry, what are a few tips in standing out from the crowd? This question is so important that I'm going to take several episodes to answer it. You might have well asked, what's the overarching killer mistake that almost all entrepreneurs make? And I think the reason why half of small businesses fell within the first 5 years. That's what Greg Habstritt answers at EngagedEntrepreneur.com. Write down that blog. It could save your business. EngagedEntrepreneur.com. The short answer is niche marketing. Greg explains, your business success will be defined by how clearly and specifically you target your market. This is what I do. I market specifically to LDS Temple weddings.
And lately, I've been wondering if it's all I can do.
My tagline is, remember the temple, and I introduce the technique of temple intros and endings on wedding videos. I've created connections with other vendors who have the same target market, like Latter-day Bride and the Joseph Smith Memorial Building. Greg goes on to say, when you nail your target market correctly, the following 2 things happen. 1, your target market is highly attracted and compelled to learn more about you. And 2, you repel and turn off a lot of the people who are not in your target market. For example, take Julene's wedding cake. Julene shows custom wedding cakes that are unique and fun. We'll see you next week here on brideaccess.com.
We are happy to introduce one of the area's leading designers of wedding announcements, Anne Elizabeth.
Hi everyone, this is Anne with Anne Elizabeth Custom Design and Printing. Today I have a helpful hint for you on figuring out how you should word your invitation, specifically the first lines of the invitation that figure out who the hosts of the wedding are. So this is a topic that comes up with every invitation announcement that goes out, and this is where you determine whose name should be listed at the top. So I have lots of brides and grooms come into us that say, I want to be listed at the top. Myself and my fiance are listed at the top, but yes, my parents are paying for the wedding. Well, I have to tell you that's a little bit of a faux pas. So let me walk you through the etiquette of what the wording means, and that'll help you understand it a little bit more. So when you're talking about a wedding invitation, you have the hosts of the wedding. The hosts are the individuals who are basically financially shouldering the burden of the wedding. So this typically has been the parents of the bride. So the typical wedding format that you see again and again starts off with the parents of the bride, and then the bride, and then the groom, and then the groom's parents. So what this means is that the bride's parents are hosting the wedding, technically hosting it / paying for it. They're announcing the marriage of their daughter, and you'll note that the daughter is using her first and middle name, but not last name. Her last name is Chipman here, but she's using Candace K. This is an indication that her last name is implied, but this is also a transitional time in this bride's life, and so her last name here is omitted if she is taking the groom's last name after the wedding. Now let's look at some hybrid formats. So you have some hybrid formats where the bride and groom and/or parents can be listed in different ways. This is a hybrid format where you have the bride and groom's first names listed here. Then we go into together with their parents, and we talk about the actual wedding itself. So that's one hybrid format to consider. Another is something like this, where the bride and groom are listed at the top, and this is used in a situation where the bride and groom are financially hosting the wedding. So the bride and groom are announcing the wedding and inviting the guests to attend. Now here's a situation where we want to acknowledge the parents and the bride and groom. So here we have an invitation where the bride and groom are listed right at the top as being the hosts of the wedding, but you'll note that this hybrid format indicates the parents by name rather than wording that says together with our parents or together with our families. This is a nice option to actually have the names of the parents listed. And I have one more hybrid format for you to show here. This is another format that's really quite unusual. So we have the parents of the bride are pleased to invite you to the wedding celebration of their daughter, and then we have Dev Latondra. So we have the parents of, but they are not listed by name, but this is still technically the bride's parents are the hosts and are announcing and inviting guests to attend the wedding. Thanks for watching us on Bride Access. I'm Anne with Anne Elizabeth Design and Printing. You can always catch us on our website, AnneElizabeth.com, and at Bride Access.
One of the most important aspects of your wedding is the music. Be sure to check out brideaccess.com to see all of the wonderful music options available for you. Only at brideaccess.com. one of the biggest struggles that couples have after they get married is money problems. And so, teamed up with Utah Central Credit Union, I'm here to help Nate and Jocelyn, who are a recently engaged couple, give them some tips to help them get on the right track for their marriage in the way of finances.
Jocelyn, will you marry me? I love you.
Can I be the first to congratulate you guys? I'm so honored to have you. Are such a good sport, Jocelyn. What? Oh my gosh, that was good job, Nate. You are the man. Let's hear for Nate and Jocelyn.
So, we're gonna dive in here and talk just a little bit about a couple of things you guys can do to just get started. So first of all, it's really important to know yourself. It's hard to work together as a team if we don't even understand ourselves. So Jocelyn, let me ask you something. Between these two things, tell me which one you are. Do you think you maybe tend to be more of a spender or more of a saver?
Usually I'm a saver.
Are you?
Yeah.
And how about you, Nate?
I'm definitely a saver.
Well, then you guys are going to be off to a good start. These are kind of things that we need to ask ourselves before we get married, so that when we are married, we can work together as a team with those. Unfortunately, we've found through studies that married men and women fight more about money than anything else, and money is the biggest cause for divorce. And I know right now you're thinking, we're totally in love. We would never get divorced and we would never have a problem in the world. And I hope that that is so true. And it may be. But to keep that love flowing, to keep the stress out of your life, I can tell you right now that talking about money and making those goals together is so important. So what you need to do, and sometime hopefully you guys can have a fun evening and sit down and talk finance.
Date night?
Date night, I know. It'll be so fun, but it really is so great to do. But make sure to do a full disclosure of your financial situation. Talk about your checking and your savings accounts, if you have a 401k or other investments, any jewelry or big valuables that you have, just so that it's all out there on the table and you guys both know exactly where you stand as a team. Even though it may be one or the other who's more responsible for paying the bills, make sure it's a team effort as far as knowing, you know, how much is our rent or our mortgage, how much are our utilities, so that the other person can help either keep them down or stay within the budgets that you guys have kind of set. Have you two talked about money at all with each other?
Yes, we have.
Have you been able to think about maybe why that was important or how that might help you in your marriage later?
Yeah, for us it helped us figure out about schooling and housing, and which helped with wedding plans too, definitely.
Definitely, yeah. Looking at apartments or homes, where can you live and things like that. That's so great. Well, I encourage you to keep it up, and congratulations again with your wedding coming up and your marriage for years and years.
Planning a wedding can be a mental challenge. Don't let all of the to-dos push you over the edge. Everything you need is just a mouse click away at Utah's brideaccess.com. Groom not included.
I'm Alex Davis from the Bride Shop here in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. And for you brides who are going to be getting married in the temple, there are a few guidelines that you do need to follow, and we're going to go over that right now. So, you have a couple options. First of all, you can either, if you're planning on wearing your gown in the temple, you need to make sure that you don't have a lot of beading. My bride Elise here, you can see the gown that she's wearing. It's very interesting and it's very intricate because she has all of the different ruching going through the gown, but there is no beading on there. If there is beading, it needs to be clear. It can't have any silver or any color in it. Also, what you need to make sure of is that the neckline is high enough and that it goes in far enough, and also that we have a long enough sleeve. This is the most important gown that you will ever wear, and you do need to have a little bit of personality with it. So one thing that you can do as you're coming out of the temple, you might as well add a little bit of color. One thing that is really in style are these colored belts. I'm going to put this on Elise so you can see how it can make the gown even more fashion forward and give it a little bit more personality. And this way, she can wear her gown inside the temple, but she can also wear it outside and have a little bit more fun with it and show off her personality. So thank you, Bride Access, for coming and visiting us here at the Bride Shop in Salt Lake City, Utah. And just remember, brides, when you are getting married in the temple, the few pointers that you need to know: white, not very much beading, making sure you're completely covered, and remember to have fun with your dress. to bring in a little bit of your personality after you get married in the temple. And again, come visit us here at the Bride Shop. We're really excited to work with you.
In our efforts to help you plan your wedding and take out some of the stress, BrideAccess.com has a new wedding blog, and it's just for you. Get detailed information from the top wedding professionals in the industry, plus tips from our own BrideAccess.com experts. Happy planning from BrideAccess.com, where you can find everything you need to plan a wedding, grooms not included.
We're here at the beautiful woods on 9th with Burgundy, and this place is absolutely wonderful. We've been going all around seeing it. It's gorgeous, and it's the perfect place to do a wedding, but not only that, like corporate events, sweet 16 parties maybe, I don't know, lots of things. Burgundy, tell us what we need to know about the woods on 9th.
The woods on 9th is an awesome location. We are centrally located. What really brings our brides in here is the location and also just the elegance of the place. The decor is awesome. It's not too much to where the brides can't add their own accent, so it's really great.
That's awesome.
It is. The spacing is just perfect for a line and then maybe
definitely
food and things like that. It is great. Centrally located. Can you ask for more?
So tell me a little bit about the catering. Looks like you do it in-house, is that right?
We do. We do have awesome in-house catering. We have a chef. He's our executive chef. He does all of the cooking here. Wow. What's great about it is we can customize the bride's own menus. We have our general menus that we can do, but we can also customize some great menus, some unique ideas if brides have that awesome idea that they've always wanted to do. So
now can we have a sample?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, for sure.
Try some of that chicken yelling in the back there. Well, you know, obviously you can see this is a wonderful place, has all the amenities, centrally located, it's got in-house catering, everything that you need. So there's nowhere else to go. Woods on 9th, this is the place.
Please, taste. Salt Lake's premier wedding show is a culinary event. Sample your way to the perfect menu. It's free. January 22nd at the Joseph Smith Memorial Building and the Lion House. Register at weddings@templesquare.com.
And so we want to provide you, Nikki, with this. This is one of our Bride Access folders with all the wonderful information that you have in there, right? And maybe you can talk more about that, Sarah.
Well, this is a great tool to be able to help you organize your wedding, because I know you're just getting started, but there is a lot to plan, and it starts just piling in. And this little item will help you to be able to categorize all of your wedding and just keep it organized, show your groom and say, this is what we're doing, and then he can say, oh great, that's wonderful, because that's what they should
Absolutely.
say. And then you can put a picture of you two in the front, and it can be a little keepsake as well. So we just want to congratulate you both, and we look forward to April, just like you do.
I want to congratulate Mom for paying for it.
Thanks, Mom.
Love you. Hey, I got one last question.
Yes.
Did he get down on his knees?
Yes.
Booyah!
Oh, he's a keeper.
Yeah, that's a good one. So anyway, this type of stuff that we get up to right here, making people happy, live on Bride Access. Keep tuning in. Got more for you.
Hi, I'm Rachel, the wedding specialist at Culinary Crafts Catering, Utah's 7 times Best of State Caterer. And I'm here today to talk to you about creating a seasonal menu. I think it's important to incorporate the time of year that you're hosting your reception into planning your menu. We prefer foods that are warm and cozy and inviting in the wintertime, and foods that are more refreshing and light in the summertime. Winter is a wonderful time for braised meats such as a veal ossobuco, chutneys, and hearty stews like a beef bourguignon. You can serve comfort foods like mashed potatoes and cheeses and baked pastas. Pears are also delicious and available at this time of year, and a pear is wonderful poached in red wine and stuffed with the Drake Valley goat cheese and drizzled in honey. Probably our most popular station is the butternut squash soup station, where we serve our homemade butternut squash soup sprinkled in toasted pumpkin seeds and serve it in our homemade bread bowls. Serve this alongside a mixed green salad with a balsamic vinaigrette, fresh apples and cheddar cheese, and we've got a wonderful fall harvest menu. My favorite during the summer are tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil. We have heirloom tomatoes available, fresh basil, and drizzle that with a little bit of olive oil and vinegar, and it's just amazing. I could eat it every day. During the springtime, We have things available like strawberries and asparagus. We'll serve a strawberry and asparagus salad with a raspberry vinaigrette, and spring peas. Spring peas to make a tasty risotto or a spring pea soup. Cherries are abundant at this time of year. We can serve a cherry tart or take a spoon of cherries and serve that over a delicious chocolate cake. I hope this has helped you to get your creative juices flowing for your wedding reception. Be it spring, fall, summer, or winter, Culinary Crafts is here to help you create a delicious and beautifully presented menu. Please look for these menu items by visiting our blog at www.culinarycrafts.com or find us by linking through brideaccess.com. Culinary Crafts, catering, and oh so much more.
Well, thank you so much. This is the end of our episode. Glad that you watched. And we're also grateful for all those people who participated, all the professionals who gave their wonderful pieces of advice and knowledge and wisdom.
Thank you so much. And if you'd like to see some more tips and ideas, you can get those at brideaccess.com or the brideaccess.com blog or even the brideaccess.com Facebook page. We'll see you again next week.
BrideAccess.com would like to thank our contributors, Culinary Crafts, The Flower Patch, Remember When Film, Studio One Photography, Castle Bridge Films, Anne Elizabeth Invitations, and David Perry Films. The hosts of BrideAccess.com are Alex Boyer and Sarah Parker. BrideAccess.com is brought to you by Utah Central Credit Union. We're in it together.